जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो
Virat got a 59, Faf got an 84, yet RCB fans are going to be crying, and I just don't understand how they've done this. But thankfully, I've got Michael and Harsha to answer all these questions and make sense of this innings, because 90 for no loss at the 10-over point, and they've ended up with 174.
Hopefully they've got enough from their fans' point of view, but I fear they haven't. And I'll take your mind back. There are certain phases in the game. I'll take you back to overs number 9 to 13. They got 33 runs in those 5 overs, 33, 34 in those 5 overs. And that can happen sometimes. You just get into that little rut and you can't break free. So my question is, I don't know whether the slowness of the pitch, you can't always figure out, but the slowness, was it making stroke making difficult, do you think? Or is it that you just start getting into a little comfort zone saying, yeah, okay, I've got the last 5 overs to hammer, and it's amazing how often that doesn't happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's not usually like me to kind of sit on the fence, but I think it's a slow pitch. So I think it's a very competitive score. There's no Shikhar Dhawan for Punjab. With Shikhar Dhawan in the side, I would say that Punjab would be favourites because he's got so much experience. There's a lacking of experience in the batting lineup chasing down the score, but I just look at the players that are playing. You know, I look at Virat Kohli, Faf du Plessis. Faf played okay. You know, I thought he played a nice innings. Virat chewed too many balls up. You know, suddenly Virat chews 3 or 4 balls up and needs a boundary. He goes, 4, 6. I've always been looking at Virat in T20 cricket. I'm going, why don't you just do that earlier? He's such a good player. He's great at the game. He's got this gift to be able to pretty much play all the shots. The one shot he hasn't got is the sweep, you know, the little kind of ramp off the seamer. So I do think he's an easier player to manage in terms of setting fields because there's always a quarter of the ground that he's not going to aim. He's not got the reverse lap either. So when the spinners come on, you know it's all going to be in front of square. So you can position your fielders more in front of the square kind of leg umpire. The boundaries are quite big, so it makes it harder to kind of strike those boundaries in the middle region. But I just look at the players that are playing, and you look at Glenn Maxwell. What did he come in the 17th? The 17th over, Glenn Maxwell. So you've got this power lineup waiting to come out there. And the opening partnership did a good job. It might be a very good job by the end of the innings because it might be a very big score. But like Harsha said, it might not be enough. And that is down to the mindset and the capabilities of that opening pair that did okay, but I think they can do better.
I know which stroke Michael's referring to. We were all watching and suddenly Kohli came out and creamed one over cover.
Yeah.
Boom. And you just went, wow, what a shot. That's why.
That's why fans like me who don't really understand the technicalities of the game, but you just feel
you're just saying the same thing and hoping to get away with it.
No, I'm just wondering, is at one point you feel like, wow, he's looking beautiful.
Correct.
Even when Faf hit a few sixes which looked really big, and then suddenly you feel like, why is it so slow? Why is it not coming on? So I couldn't really understand what was happening with the pitch today, actually.
I mean, the old money in white ball cricket was if you hit a boundary, you got one off the next ball. You just make sure you rotate the strike. That is the old money. The new money is, if you hit a boundary, the next ball, do you know what? You hit another boundary. That is the modern game. And I just think Virat is still playing sometimes. KL Rahul's very similar. They're almost playing white ball cricket, which was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, where you hit a boundary and then you get the one. These days it's about boundary, 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 and you just keep going because the batting lineups have got longer and longer and longer, and you can take more risk because of the depth in the batting lineup. I just watch Virat and I love watching him play. He's one of the greats. I always say to my lad when we're watching cricket, Virat's in, come quick, sit, watch him, try and copy him. But I just watch him and think, oh, could you just go up your gears just slightly sooner? And I believe he's got the ability to do that.
So 137-run partnership between the two, Virat 59 or 47, Faf for 71 or 51. One would imagine from here on, we spoke about this in the com box as well, they were 94 no loss. We thought they will go all guns blazing from there on.
We were talking of 200.
Yeah.
If you got 90 in 10, you got wickets in hand, you know, you get a move on, you could get to 200. They fell about 25 short of what we thought. Admittedly, it's a slowish pitch. But what this partnership has done is look what happens to Glenn Maxwell, look what happens to Dinesh Karthik. Now they can't say, I'll just block 2 or 3 and get used. They have to go from first ball. When you go from first ball, you run the risk of getting out. So Maxwell gets out first ball today. DK has to play the shots that he does, and he gets out early. So your firepower is just lying unused. I think, and I'm like a stuck record on this, I think it's an ensemble cast. Everyone has to get in, get those 20, 25, keep going. The price on your wicket is not what it is in some other form of the game. This is the closest you get to a team sport. Doesn't matter if you get out sometimes.
I do think with Virat's play, because if the quick ball is the ball and he plays that glance to third, he plays it beautifully. Without pace on the ball, as an opposing team and an opposing captain, that you take pace off the ball, you put your fielders in front of square, and it's a big shot to try and clear the boundary or try and break the field. There'll be 3 fielders on the onside boundary where you've got to hit it hard on that onside to break the boundary. And if you've not got this little trick, the little flick over short fine or the little kind of reverse flick over short third, I think captains, I think captains find it quite easy to set fields against Virat.
It's interesting you say that. I remember asking Sachin once when he was playing what Greg Chappell in those days was calling the cheap single, the easy single. I said, it doesn't feel like watching Sachin bat. I said, you're just playing one little tuck here, one here, one here. I said, that's not Sachin. Sachin hits down the ground, right? He said, I'm playing that shot because I want to hit there. He said, I've been playing 17, 18 years. Everyone knows my game. They know how to set a field for me. I want to hit it there. That's why I'm hitting it there. Because I'll keep playing it here. At some point, he's got to move a field. I'll hit the ball where I want to. And I wonder if Michael's saying this about Virat, that you just need to get that.
Well, the best in the world at the minute is Josh Butler. And what's Josh Butler got? He's got 360 degrees. A.B. de Villiers, 360 degrees. Because I know as an ex-captain, I always kind of watch the game and go, where would I set my field for someone like Josh Butler? Because he's got that trick shot. All right, he got out playing it the 2 nights ago, but he gets it there. So you've got to create fielders pretty much behind the keeper. So you've got 2, 3 fielders gone behind square. And now you're thinking, well, he can go down the ground, you can go through extra cover, you can go through mid-wicket. So you kind of look around and go, I haven't got enough fielders. I haven't got enough. But I think when you're setting fields to Virat at the minute, I think you have enough fielders. And I think that's where, and I think anything can always improve. Anybody in life can always improve. And Virat, if he wants to go to the real next stage, and he is a great, I'm not saying he's not a great, if he wants to, the World Cup in a few months' time, if India's going to win the World Cup, some of the Indian players that I watch, they're going to have to start playing a few tricks. Because I think teams around the world know exactly where they're going to score. And they're not 360-degree players, they are 270.
Just a little to defend Virat, because he's spoken about this in his post-match presentations as well, where he said that there is a game plan where he wants to, and he backs himself to kind of go for it once he's settled in. Unfortunately, that's not happened, because we've usually seen those 50 and then him going big.
The numbers are saying that very, very few innings go beyond 55 balls. I was just checking some numbers today. If you're 20 of 20 balls, only 9% of innings go above 55, 25% go above 40. So some days he will go and play dramatic innings. Not just Virat, anybody who aims to play like that, you will go and play dramatic innings, and those are the innings you will remember. You won't remember what didn't come off. And very, very few innings go beyond 55 balls, 50, 55 balls. So you can back your skill and say, I will finish the game, but it doesn't happen very often.
Well, something that's happening very often is Faf comes to the ground and he says, I'm here, I'm going to score runs. Again today, 84 of I think 55, 6 balls is what he's got. 84
or 56,
yes. So he didn't show any sign of pain on that side strain. Clearly, Paulie is going to be one happy man.
Yeah, I mean, his side must be okay. Because some of those shots, they were full swings, big turns and big rotations, 5, 6s. So clearly his side isn't that bad. Which is a great sign for the RCB. I thought he played nicely. I mean, a strike rate of 150, it's a good number. Again, I thought he had great intent. The boundaries are big. It's a big ground, Mohali. So, again, I think this is a competitive score. I really do, because there's no Shikhar Dhawan. Shikhar at the top of the order is a big miss for Punjab, and I think it will rely on a flying start. I think the first 6, when you're chasing this kind of total, when we know that the ball and the pitch has got a bit slower, I think really they're going to have to get 55, 60 in the power play. And then it just gives you a little bit of leeway in that middle period. If they only get 40, 45, I think the rate will start to get a little bit too high in the pitch. We saw one really rip, went past the outside edge, so there will be a bit of purchase. And it might take a little bit of a firecracker innings from someone like Livingston to get them over the line.
There was that MI game, I think it might have been DC, where Tim David and Cameron Green finished at
Yes.
the end, Mumbai got 68 in the power play.
Yeah.
Because they realized that as the game went along, batting was going to get difficult. They had to max the power play. I think Punjab will have to max the power play. I'm not sure of their top order that much, but they'll have to max the power play. So all I'm saying is the score might be enough, but you've got to measure it against what it could have been rather than whether it's enough. I'm looking at the spinners. They've got Hasaranga. I wonder whether they'll look at their subs and say, do I need to get another slow bowler or do I need to get a seamer? Maybe bowl a bit of Maxwell. And if the ball grips, Harshal becomes a better bowler.
Yes.
So
I
we'll
mean,
have to wait
there
and see
has
how
been a
that
lot
goes.
of discussion over Harshal not being in great form. He's somebody, lots has been spoken about how probably he's been worked out because he keeps bowling the slower ones. But he's spoken about how he thinks it's all right to bowl 24 slower balls in a T20 game. So maybe that will come
But
to his rescue today.
He almost defended a 5-run last over. So when he gets it right, he's still a good bowler. Yeah, but this 9.69, he's going for too many runs. I think these on really good tracks where it comes off, he bowls that slow ball beautifully, but it doesn't grip in the surface. It just sits up sometimes.
Do you think they've worked him out, Michael, or do you think that he probably does have something up his sleeve which just hasn't been executed this season?
I think, no doubt, the more the batters see you, the more chance that you're going to get found out in some way, shape or form. But you only have to look at where he's bowling. He's bowling at the postage stamp on an absolute road, so it's not easy. I think this surface will suit his style of bowling. All his slow balls will be hard to hit. If he gets them right, T20 cricket, it doesn't take too much to be slightly wrong for you to travel, against these power hitters that are in pretty much all the sides. But I think this pitch, with that little bit of grip, it'll be a pitch that he's looking forward to bowling on rather than his home venue where he must dread. He must have sleepless nights thinking, I'm not again, I've got to go and bowl on this. I described it as the pitch yesterday the size of the table. It's not easy for the bowler. And like the table, rock hard, beautiful. So yeah, I think he'll be fine on this surface.
Can you imagine? Harshal, you're looking forward to going home again.
No.
I'm not. I want to play somewhere else. Yeah.
But do you think it's also playing on his mind, Harsha, because he was dropped from the Indian side and he is somebody who is a very strong, he has strength, he's a very strong boy, but that would be playing on his mind?
And he's not getting younger. As you get older, you start thinking of how much longer you're going to play. You start thinking of your mortality almost from a cricketer's point of view. How much longer am I going to play? Maybe there's a little frustration that comes in through. Give me a different kind of track one day. I mean, in the year in which he took the maximum wickets, he also went for 37. So he's seen both sides of it. But yeah, you're right. He's almost a philosopher.
Yes. He likes to read. He likes
the kind
his
of books he
reading.
reads and whatever is. You can't be a bowler if you're reading books like those. But
That's where he's going wrong.
But I hope it.
Yeah.
I hope
Maybe
it works
today.
out for
Maybe
him.
today's
They
the
need
day.
his 4 overs today.
Yes, maybe today's the day. We'll have a look at Punjab's playing 11 because, of course, Michael there would want Livingston to come up the order. You'd like him to open.
Even more so now.
Yes.
Having seen the pitch, having seen what happened towards the back end, we know the power play is going to be very, very important. I would be throwing Liam Livingston to open the bat and say, go on, try and hurt them in the power play as much as you can.
Or even or maybe if they think, no, we need Livingston, maybe even send Matthew Short up to open the batting, maximize the power play. Because otherwise, on this kind of surface, down the order, Sikandar Raza would have been a better player.
Yeah, I wonder why, considering he got a man of the match, I think, the last game. He got that 50 in.
Basically, they've got to play
Squeeze in
Curran.
him somewhere.
They've got to play Curran, they've got to play A Quick, Rabada or Ellis. They've got to play Livingston. So it came down to Sikandar Raza or Short. And I think Sikandar Raza was picked in the option as a backup to Liam Livingston. So the moment Livingston came back in, they probably thought the power of Matthew Short at the top would be a better bet.
But there's a lot. I mean, there is that hamstring of Livingston which hasn't been tested since December, if I'm right. Yeah. So there is a lot pinned on Livingston.
Literally
besides
pinned,
him.
you mean? Pinned?
Yeah.
Besides him, considering there's no Shikhar Dhawan, so there's a lot of pressure on that middle order, especially because, well, the star player Shikhar Dhawan isn't there.
Prab Simran will have to get them off. So maybe open with Prab Simran and Short or Livingston and just go hard in the power play. They don't have Rajapaksa either, the big hitter. Shahrukh has been doing pretty well. I look at that batting order, I think it might be enough.
Oh, 174, you think that would be enough?
I'm looking at that batting order, I think it might be enough.
But considering they have like Hasaranga, who's not really come into the game yet.
If it grips, he might like it
yeah,
too.
if it grips, then it probably would be a tough one.
Yeah, I just at this start, I'd prefer the runs on the board. Just having seen the last half an hour where it just started to won't say he was doing all sorts, but there was certainly enough there. If the skilled slow ball pacers can produce their magic and RCB field well, take the catches, I think it might just be enough.
Well, the clouds have set in, so there was that little doubt on whether it's going to rain or not, because I don't think we want to see a game where it goes into Duckworth Lewis. That's just, well, a spoiler, isn't it?
So are you saying it's getting cloudy
Yes,
there?
it has. The clouds have come
Duckworth
in.
Lewis was created for England, not for India. You don't get rain here, come on. Only the odd sprinkle.
No, it's off season. But the one game that I did in Mohali,
Where it
the
went
game
in
got
Duckworth
called
Lewis.
off because of showers, and KKR was 7 short. If Andre Russell had stayed on another over, they might have won it too. One of those days when Andre Russell was going hard.
But a little bit more on that middle order
Dark
for
clouds.
Punjab, I think. Yeah, it's saying dark clouds. I don't think the rain has still come in, so we just keep our fingers crossed. What else can we do?
What's happening to the weather? How can it be raining in the
Global
north?
warming.
How can it be raining in the north in mid-April?
It's global warming. Global warming is real. It really is real.
Well, it's really warm in the UK, so there you go. It
Is it?
really is real, yeah. Yeah, it's a nice sunny day back home.
Well-
Nice and 14, nice and 15.
Nice and 16.
He's in Yorkshire, nice and 10.
Nice and 60.
Oh, I almost forgot. It's bad on my part. Congratulations, Harsha, sir.
It's okay. It's just another of those days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whenever you win the
Tukka.
prediction game, I think your humility is just
No,
forgotten
tukka.
whenever you win the prediction game. But that's what
We've
the
got to teach
prediction
Michael
does.
what tukka means. Just a guess.
What is it?
Just a guess.
Just a guess.
Yeah.
Tukka.
Tukka. Yeah. The other day, Polly had learnt a little phrase as well, which said "du kya." So you learned tukka.
Tukka. What's
Yeah.
tukya?
Du kya is like, should I punch
Should I-
you?
All right.
Yeah.
Do kya ek?
Yeah.
Should I give
Tukya.
All right. So considering you are the winner,
Power
I
play?
think we'll start with you. Power play
Probably
predictions.
55. I think they need more, but I think they'll get 55.
Yeah, I think they need more, but I think they'll lose 2 or 3, so I'm going to go 48.
I'm stuck again. 55, 48. I don't have any space in middle, but I'll go with 53.
Teacher.
Yeah, I mean, it's tight. It's tight. It's
I
tight.
thought you were going 72 or
Oh,
something.
no. I went 187. It didn't do
What is
well.
it? Good guess?
Tukka.
Tukka's a guess.
Tukka is a guess. It's all,
And Livingston isn't opening.
Livingston isn't opening and Vishak is in for Faf.
Yeah,
So I'm glad that they've backed him because Atharva Taide and Prabh Simran are opening together. So we're hoping that Prabh Simran gets them off to a flyer, which unfortunately they haven't sent Livingston in.
He'll have to do the job in the middle against Hasaranga. I mean, hits spin hard. Again, he's got all the tricks. He's got the power and all the tricks. But he's very similar to Maxwell. He could do exactly what Maxwell did today. Maxwell was frustrated. You could see that. In too late,
had
first
to be.
ball, try to hit a 6.
He had to be.
That's not the game you want Maxwell to be playing from ball 1.
Yeah, the first ball I thought he'd at least be around a little longer. But anyway, Prabh Simran is in and there is no Livingston. We'll see what Punjab puts up. We'll see if my tukka comes right because the experts actually are just being humble. There are no tukkas. They have a lot of logic behind their predictions.
You've got a good anchor today. Talking us up. Well done.
That's all for now. But we'll see you at the Combox at the 10-over point. See you all soon.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपको अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲನೆ ತಿರುಚಿರಾಪಳ್ಳಿ
Hyderabad Superfast Express Boloboti Station Netaji Bhavan कृपया ध्यान दें